Is on the business value of information technology. Calculating the value of information technology is important because of the high cost of implementation. IT offers great potential as it has been claimed that it decreases costs, increases productivity, reduces data loss, and increases revenue. However, numerous IT projects have failed. According to USA Today in 2002, U.S. firms wasted $130 billion on unwanted IT expenditures. Firms such as Hershey Foods lost $120 million in sales because of incompatible software. The current system of determining return on IT investment is flawed. It relies on bottom-up measuring that often overvalues investment. Therefore, a new approach of analysis is warranted. In the following example, we will use observed and objective data to determine the value of IT investment. We will begin by using data from VISTA, the VA's health information system. The Veterans Health Administration is the largest single medical system in the United States, and as such, VISTA is one of the most widely used electronic health record systems in the world. The VISTA system uses a computerized patient record system with notifications, reminders, and alerts in place for physicians. The 2009 budget rollout expects that VISTA will be used in the care of over 5.7 million patients in the VA. VISTA is widely acclaimed and has contributed to a nationwide call for the adoption of electronic health records. The data we will use to evaluate the business value of the system comes from the Department of Veterans Affairs. The data spans fiscal years from 1998 to 2004. Column 2 shows the IT budget, column 3 the number of records in the VISTA system, and the last column the cost per patient index, which will indicate productivity and revenue. Correlations between the variables will be calculated and represented in the following scattered diagrams. The purpose of a correlation is to determine whether the values of one variable are related to another. This will help determine if there is a causal relationship between investment in IT and revenue. This scatter diagram shows a correlation between the IT budget and the use of IT. The correlation, represented by R, is 0.766. Correlation ranges from -1 to +1, -1 being the weakest correlation, 0 meaning no relationship, and +1 being the strongest. Therefore, with the value of 0.766, there's a strong positive correlation between IT investment and IT use. The second diagram measures the correlation between IT budget and productivity. With a value of 0.8, the second diagram measures the correlation between IT budget and productivity. With a value of 0.892, there is a strong relationship between these two variables. This final diagram measures the correlation between IT use and productivity. With a value of 0.567, there is only a moderate association between these two variables. While we have determined the correlation of the variables, we must still calculate causation. In order for there to be a causative effect, the investment in IT must come before any increase in productivity or revenue. In this example, we will determine if investment leads to use and eventually revenue, or if revenue is a starting point, which leads to IT investment and use. The calculations illustrated here are used to determine this. The variables represent our different correlations. PCR represents the correlation between the cost of IT and revenue. PCU represents the correlation between the cost and use of IT. And PUR represents the correlation between the use of IT and the revenue. The closest to 0 determines the causation. The results here illustrate that a reduction in the cost per patient led to growth in the IT budget because the value of -0.12 is much closer to 0. As noted before, the growth in revenue led to the use of IT. However, there are a number of limitations in this study. The necessary data is not always available as firms do not always track their data thoroughly. Moreover, using 3 groups of data can be limiting. If more data is available, it should be used in the analysis. One of the benefits lies in using the entire revenue stream of the organization, as it eliminates the need to count for side effects. And finally, the correlation can illustrate where the attention must be focused.